Test, test. All right, good. Okay, we're 1 o'clock right now, so we're a bit late, but that's okay. We're just gonna get the links all shared out here. We'll go at 1:05 so that people have time to see the link and click on. We'll do that. All right, so everybody, welcome to this day of simulations. We're going to do 2 today, both the Eastern Conference games, Maple Leafs and Bruins first in Boston, and then head on down to Pittsburgh, where we will have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Penguins. So yeah, anyway, Toronto leads the series 1-0. I think they won 6-2 over Boston in game 1. Big third period for the Buds, but yeah, so that's where we're at. So anyway, good Sunday afternoon to everybody. Hope everyone's doing well, having a good day, and yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one. Leafs and Bruins, always a good time. Leafs off to a good start this year. Let's go look at the other before we get started. Got a minute here. So, when did they play each other? Was it the 14 playoffs? No, I think it was 13. It was the first time we got Boston, Toronto. Yeah, it was the 4 and 5 seeds. Toronto did not win game 1 in that series, and then we would have got them. In what, 16? 17 was Toronto, Washington. Right, and that went 6 games or whatever it did. So Boston won the first 2 games of the series in 2018, and then 19 was the other Boston-Toronto first round we had. Oh, went 7 games. The Leafs did win Game 1 in 2019, so this is not an indicator at all. All right, 105. Let's go. Controller came unplugged. Welcome inside the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. It is the Maple Leafs and the Bruins doing battle here in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. Toronto trying to take a 2-game lead. Tuukka Rask, the starter for the Boston Bruins, no surprise, and no surprise at the other end as well. 9.43 save percentage for Freddie Anderson for the Maple Leafs, as we are about to get underway here in Boston. Leafs control the opening draw, and here we are for Game 2, Eastern Conference semifinal. David Pastrnak over the line, right in front. McAvoy saved the rebound, put just wide by Patrice Bergeron. Nearly had the Bruins up early. Bergeron and McAvoy trade at the line. McAvoy's cross-ice pass is picked off by Mitch Marner. Marner carries in over the line. Marner to the point. Riley. Barry to Riley. Riley, a drive. Glove save by Tuukka Rask. He'll hold on to that one here at the TD Garden in Boston, Mass. As we did some digging, it turns out that Game 1 is not a great indicator of this series. Toronto did win Game 1 of this series last year. Boston still went on to win in 7 games. Now here it comes down to the near side. Tavares has it. He controls it now. Up front to Janssen. The Nylander back to the point, and the Maple Leafs D play pitch and catch with it. Muzzin and Ceci. Ceci back to Muzzin in the middle of drive. That shot blocked. Here's William Nylander. Back to the point. There's Muzzin. Muzzin down the wall to Janssen. Now up front it comes. Janssen can't pull the trigger. And the Leafs with some pressure, but the Bruins finally able to clear. Here with it, Nick Ritchie on the far side. Ritchie back to the line. Carlo walks in, shoots in, rebound, scores! Nick Ritchie, second of the postseason, and it's 1-0 Boston. The Bruins opened the scoring on Friday. They do it again today, hoping for a better result as Nick Ritchie shovels home a rebound on Frederik Andersen. Well, I seems we actually now to think about it. I don't think the Bruins opened the scoring Friday. I think the Maple Leafs did. But regardless, the Bruins open it here today. Ritchie from Carlo. That'll be how the scoring line reads. 1-0 Boston. Game's not yet 3 minutes old. Kapanen back to Dermott at the line. Dermott in the hole trade. There's Kapanen. Shot blocked. Grzelcyk from his own zone up to Anders Bjork. Bjork got it to Jake DeBrusk. Now over into the middle it's going to come. Alex Kerfoot gives up to Ilya Mikheyev. And Mikheyev comes in. Mikheyev drops off for Hole. Hole to Kerfoot in behind the goal for Toronto. Now it's going to go back to Dermott. Dermott put in deep. It's going to just roll by Kerfoot. Maple Leafs control. Rolls all the way to Rask, however, after a defensive play turned in by John Moore. It goes to Rask. He holds on. That's Alex Kerfoot. He's the leading scorer for the Maple Leafs through the first series and change of this playoff run for Toronto. But they trail here early in this one, 1-0 Boston. Tries to tie the series up before it goes back to Toronto on Tuesday night. Here's Corrali got a shot in tight, put in deep here by the Maple Leafs. And there's Travis Dermott. Dermott in the battle. Squirts up now. Here's Jason Spezza. Spezza for the Maple Leafs. He puts this one in deep. It's going to come now to Kyle Clifford. Clifford kicks it loose. Freddie Gauthier. Gauthier, McAvoy now. McAvoy starts out with it up to Joachim Nordstrom. Nordstrom on the far side. Right in the middle. Corrali near side. They score. Austin Wagner. Chris Wagner, excuse me. The Boston Bruins, they lead 2-0. Fourth line, a little tic-tac-toe, and Wagner puts that one by Anderson. And they love it here at the Garden, or as the Garden, as it's known here in Boston, Mass. In the Toronto Maple Leafs in a bit of a hole here early in the hockey game to the National Hockey League's best record in the regular season, held by the Boston Bruins. Toronto controls, and they're in control in the neutral zone. It's going to be Marner over the line, far side. Cuts to the middle now. He's on the near side. Back to the point. Riley is shot. Stopped there by Tuukka Rask. David Pastrnak starts out through center. Knocked off the puck. Comes to Matthews. Bruins touch up there, but they're offside. Boston with a 2-0 lead here. 5 minutes and 50 seconds into the hockey game. This is game 1 of 2 this afternoon. We will head to Pittsburgh for game 2 of the Hurricanes and Penguins right after this. Jake Muzzin gets it to Hyman. Hyman carries through the neutral zone. Marner over to Hyman. Hyman now tries to go back to the line. Taken away from him by Bergeron, and now here come the Bruins. Pastrnak over the line near side. David Pastrnak goes out front. Marchand now to Carlo at the point. One-timer from Bergeron goes way wide. Leafs come out with it. 13 minutes to go here in period 1. 2-0 Bruins lead. Shot stopped from Hyman on Hyman, made by Tuukka Rask. And now here comes Andre Kasha. Over the line, he got the pass from Bergeron. Right in front. Carlo blocker saved by Frederik Andersen and keeps it out. 12.5 to play here in this first period. Put in deep by Toronto. It's gathered by Torrey Krug. Krug turned it over. Muzzin down the boards. Andreas Janssen to Tavares. Tavares in deep. Back to Janssen. Nylander to Janssen. Janssen turned it over, and now here come the Bruins. With it here, this is Kasha. Andre Kasha waiting to Brandon Carlo. He goes at the line. Carlo Krejci. Back to Carlo, now to Krejci down the near side half boards. Krejci makes a move around his man. Over to Ritchie. Ritchie looking for his second of the game, but it's stopped by Anderson. Bruins get it outside the line. They put it in deep. 11 minutes now to play here in the first period. 2-0 early for the home side. Bjork over to Grishlik. Grishlik, after Bjork took a hard hit, gets it up to Charlie Coyle. Coyle's going to put this one in deep. Gathered by Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk centered it out front, looking for a man, taken away by Tavares, and now in come the Leafs. John Tavares. Tavares in behind the goal. Tavares to Kapanen. Kapanen to the line. It goes all the way down the ice. And here's Frederik Andersen leaving behind the goal for Jake Muzzin. Muzzin now to Kasperi Kapanen. Kapanen up over the line for Toronto. Dropped off. Here's Barrie. Barrie sends it over to the far side. Grishlik on it for the Bruins. He takes it away. Now Anders Bjork through center for Boston. Anders Bjork drops off to John Moore. Moore walks around Mikheyev. Far side, Chara. Back to Moore at the line. A drive glove saved by Anderson, and he'll keep it alive to Travis Dermott. Now it comes up the near side, Mikheyev. In the middle, this is John Tavares. Tavares drops off. Right to the middle, Dermott. Great stop by Rask. He'll freeze that and hold on. 8:43 to go here in this period. Still 2-0 in favor of the Boston Bruins. Draw is won by the Leafs too cleanly, perhaps. It splits the D, goes all the way back into Toronto's own zone. Excuse me, had to take care of some nasal problems so that the Leafs have control in the offensive zone now. I keep forgetting I'm not on radio and you can actually see what's happening, so I don't really have to worry about that as much. Coyle with it now. Not Coyle, but Corrali. Right up front it comes. Great chance for Boston, but it goes just wide. Kyle Clifford up the far side for Toronto. Right in front, Spezza. Now Corrali's got it up to Andre Kasha, and the Bruins come out. Andre Kasha with it on the near side. Kasha back to the line. McAvoy. Grishlik. McAvoy. Kasha now comes out front, and a one-timer, or a slapper, I should say. Johanna Anderson glove down. He'll freeze it. Face off to the right of Frederick Anderson. Krejci on it against Kerfoot. The Bruins will win it. Kasha back to the line. Grzelcyk, Kasha, and Grzelcyk trade. Grzelcyk at the line. He's just going to risk this one in deep. Comes to Nick Ritchie. Ritchie, he's going to go to war there against Morgan Riley, and the Maple Leafs are going to come out with it. 6 1/4 to play here in the first period. Kerfoot over the line. Snapping one just wide. Mikheyev back to the line. Morgan Riley. Riley into the corner. Mikheyev. Kapanen, Mikheyev. Mikheyev right in front to Kapanen. He couldn't get a shot away. Rolls harmlessly to Rask, and the Bruins, they won't come out, excuse me. It's going to be Kerfoot with it now on the far side. One-timer blocked away by Tuukka Rask. Rebound right there. Mikheyev couldn't get it, though. Now here come the Bruins. 5 minutes to go here in this first period. Here's Pasternak. Long shot. Stopped by Anderson. He'll freeze it. 2-0. The Bruins lead here in this hockey game with just over 5 to play in the first period. Coyle and Matthews on the draw, and Coyle will win it. As here's Jake DeBrusk from right in front. Good stop. DeBrusk hasn't scored since game 1 of the Columbus series. Boston won in 4 straight. Here's Marner now, a real good chance. Tuukka Rask stops him with 4.5 to play here in this first period. Charlie Coyle on the draw against Austin Matthews. It's won cleanly by the Boston Bruins. DeBrusk drops off, and the Maple Leafs control just outside their own their Boston zone. Comes over to Ceci. Right in the middle, here's Mitch Marner. Marner now with it for Toronto. Back to Ceci. Here's Hyman. Hyman shot it just wide. Hyman now Marner. Back to Cody Ceci. Ceci puts this one in deep. Brandon Carlo. Knocked off the puck by Hyman, but the Bruins still control, and they're able to come out. 3.5 to play here in this first period. Carlo steps around his man now. That's Coyle. Coyle lost control of it, and here come the Maple Leafs. Marner. Matthews back to Marner. Marner can't get a shot away. Great defensive play. Turned in by Torrey Krug. Jake DeBrusk has got it for Boston. He goes into the middle. He's going to make a line change, and here come the Bruins. It's led by Charlie Coyle. Coyle back up top. Wagner shooting. Great kick save made by the goaltender Anderson. Now Nylander over to the near side. Good play. Joachim Nordstrom came back to take that away. Sean Corrali over the line for the Bruins. Corrali shovels this one in deep. It's over to Joachim Nordstrom. Now to Wagner and Chair at the line. Here is Chris Wagner. He's got a goal today. Well, but it comes shot wide. Leafs gain control. Comes up to Travis Dermott. Minute 35 to go here in this period. Dermott over the line. Shooting. Good save off the shoulder. Stopped by Rask. He'll freeze it. As the time remaining here in the first period, a minute 26. Good defensive play there. Hard hit on Chris Wagner by the captain, John Tavares. 6-4, Bruins lead in draws early here in the hockey game. The draw won by Boston here, and now with it, there was Chara, turned it over. Here's Freddie Gauthier. Gauthier spinning, firing, couldn't get the first one away. Now he does. Good stop by Tuukka Rask. And here come the Boston Bruins. David Pasternak. Final minute here of the first period. Knocked off the puck, Pasternak. He's in a battle down low. Coming out with it, Kyle Clifford and the Maple Leafs. This is Jason Spezza. Spezza over the line, Toronto. Back to the line, Dermott. Here with it, Spezza turned over in the middle. This is for David Pasternak. Pasternak over the line for the Bruins. Pasternak, he's in the corner, back to the point. Moore, now to Chara. Chara, side of the goal. Bergeron. Good stop on Bergeron by Freddie Anderson. Justin Holl up to Mikheyev. That'll do it for period number 1. After 20, Boston leads 2-0 on Toronto. Goals tonight, Nick Ritchie and Chris Wagner. Those are your only goals, both for the Boston Bruins. We'll get you some highlights now. This is the Ritchie goal. Finds a loose puck in the slot, backhands it on by Frederick Anderson. And the fourth line strikes right here. Pretty nice. Tic-tac-toe. Wagner to finish. 2-0 Bees after 20 here in Beantown. All right, guys, I'm going to fill up my coffee. I'll be right back, so give me 1 minute. Got myself a fresh hot cup. Let's go. Shots 11-9, pretty close. First period. It's good stuff. Welcome back inside the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Maple Leafs and Bruins, these two historic rivals, meet again for a 7-game series. That 7-game series is led by the Toronto Maple Leafs 1-0, with Game 2 here this afternoon led by the Boston Bruins 2-0. Hyman, Barry, and Riley trade. They set up an early attack here in the second period. Riley, Matthews, Hyman out front. Good stop. Point-blank range. Tuukka Rask. Now here comes David Pastrnak. Pastrnak knocked off the puck. It's going to come up to Austin Matthews, and the Maple Leafs come out with it. Lifty little move by Matthews. Matthews drops off Muzzin. Muzzin to Marner. Marner now right out front for Matthews. Stopped by Rask. He'll freeze that. As we played 1:20 here of this second period. As this series will shift back to Toronto, Ontario, Canada on Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. Draw one by the Bruins. With it here, this is Andreas Janssen. Janssen, Tavares, a shot, glove save by Tuukka Rask. As mentioned, the Maple Leafs hold a 1-0 advantage here in the series. Other series around the league. We'll shift to Pittsburgh after this. Pittsburgh, that's Game 2 of Carolina and the Penguins. Pittsburgh leads that series 1-0. And the other side in the West, Nashville, they lead the Colorado Avalanche 2-0, and Calgary and Winnipeg tied up at 1 game apiece. Calgary and Winnipeg and Nashville and Colorado get underway tomorrow. Those Game 3s of that series will be at 6 o'clock in Nashville and 7 o'clock in Calgary, in Winnipeg, respectively. Andreas Janssen into the middle, Nylander back to Janssen, shot, stop, it's blocked, I should say. Now here come the Bruins. Ritchie takes a hard hit from Justin Holt. Now here come the Maple Leafs. Alex Kerfoot, Willie Nylander. Nylander trying to step around Jake DeBruskin-Camp. Here come the Bruins. With it here is Anders Bjork. Bjork right in front, taken away from him by Travis Dermott. And now a penalty is going to come to the Boston Bruins. I didn't see it, but on his way to the bench is Freddie Anderson. Extra attacker for the Leafs. First power play of the game will go the way of Toronto. It's going to be a slashing call. I didn't quite see it. It's against Charlie Coyle by the looks of things. Boy, oh boy, is that a soft one in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Charlie Coyle off for slashing. Just under 4 minutes into this second period. Bruins win the draw and send it the full 200. Gathered by Tyson Barrie out of his own zone. Here with it, Janssen over to Alex Kerfoot. Kerfoot into the middle, Andreas Janssen. If you're just joining us, 2-0 Bruins in the second, but the Maple Leafs have an early second period power play. Shot from the point. It was off the shoulder of Rask up and over the net, and nearly looked like it might come down and in. Sent down the ice by the Boston Bruins, gathered by Tyson Barrie. Barrie and Matthews trade. Comes up the wall. Here's Andreas Janssen. Janssen in the middle, taken away, but here's Janssen again. Janssen on the turn back, stopped by Rask. Tuukka Rask will make the save there for Boston with just under 15 minutes to go here in the second period and 59 seconds of power play time remaining for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 8-7, the Bruins lead in faceoffs in this game. Knocked out in the neutral zone by the Leafs, and the Bruins able to come out with it. Here on a shorthanded, rushes Bergeron, drops off Carlo, now Patrice Bergeron. Far side, Chara. Got it to Marchand, and now turned over. Maybe a 2-on-0 for the Maple Leafs. Here's Tavares, shot it just wide. Great back check by the Bruins defense to deny a 2-on-0. Tavares put it wide of the goal. I think was cutting it a little too fine on Rask. As Toronto nearly on the board. Puck ends up in the Boston bench. 6-0 the Maple Leafs lead in shots on goal in the second period. Toronto, power play comes to an end. And now right out of the box steps Coyle, and they nearly hit him for a breakaway, but instead Brad Marchand's pass all the way down the ice for an icing call on the Boston Bruins. These Boston Bruins' path to get to this series was a relatively straightforward one. Bruins 4-0, straight sets over the Columbus Blue Jackets in round one. The Maple Leafs required one extra game. They defeat the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5. Puck sent down the ice by Toronto. You're just joining us. 2-0. The Bruins lead here in game 2 in period 2. Shot through traffic. Saved the rebound. Cleared by Boston. It's going to be Brad Marchand carrying it in on the far side. Right in front. Coyle tried to go to Bergeron. Couldn't. And now a breakaway for Toronto. It's Jason Spezza. Drops off Clifford. Clifford couldn't get the shot away. What a great back check by Boston to deny an opportunity for the Maple Leafs there. A little bit too patient, if you will, was Jason Spezza. Thought he had a little more time. Clifford over the line. Back to the point. Justin Holl. He had a goal in game 1. Dermott takes a hard hit from Krejci, who flew off the bench. Puck comes outside the line. Justin Holl's got it in his own zone for Toronto. 11:53 to go in the second period. 2-0 Bruins lead. Now another stretch pass right up the middle. Gauthier shot it wide. Freddie Gauthier. Backhander again in front. Stopped by Rask. Great chances for the Toronto Maple Leafs here. Couple spring passes that haven't gone the way that they want them to. Here's Kyle Clifford putting it in deep for the Maple Leafs. Gathered by Torrey Krug. Krug up to Andre Kasha. Krug to the near side. Here is Patrice Bergeron. Carlo now to Kasha on the far side. Kasha to Brandon Carlo. Walking in. He trades with Marchand at the line. Marchand down the boards. It's going to come to David Krejci in a battle there with Kerfoot. Comes over to the near side. That's for Barry. Barry gets it up, and Mikheyev comes out for the Leafs. Mikheyev shoots. Glove save by Tuukka Rask. He'll hold on. Just under halfway through regulation in this one. Still 2-0 in favor of the Boston Bruins. Draw to the right of Tuukka Rask is won by Toronto, but Boston on the turnover. Walker Nordstrom puts it in. Maple Leafs have it, and they're going to come out now on the turn back. Here's Zach Hyman. Hyman to Matthews. Great play by the big man. All 6'9" of them. Zdeno Chara to take that away. Sean Corrali on the far side. Drops off Chara. Now to McAvoy. Here is Chris Wagner. Wagner, he's trying to take it to the net. Can't do so. Taken away from him by Morgan Rielly, and the Leafs come out. Hyman back to Rielly. Rielly to Barry in the neutral zone. Right up the middle it comes to Marner. Now to Matthews. Austin Matthews, far side corner. Ceci to Muzzin. Marner. Muzzin. He turns it over at the line. Fanned on a pass. And good play by Cody Ceci, the longtime Ottawa Senator, to deny that potential breakaway for Boston. But here come the Bruins now. Sean Corrali to Jake DeBrusk, and he hammers it. And a great save made by Freddie Anderson. Just with over 8 minutes to play, and DeBrusk nearly extended to a 3-0 Boston lead. This series, as we talked about a little bit earlier, shift back to Toronto on Tuesday night at 5 o'clock for Game 3. Boston hoping that this series at that point will be tied up at 1 game apiece. Sent in deep by the Maple Leafs. However, even if that's the case, the Maple Leafs will have done their job here in Boston. President's Trophy winners to split here in Boston would be a coup by itself. On the far side, Nylander. Tuukka Rask makes the save. He holds on. You know, it's cliche for a reason because it's exactly what you have to do. If you're a team on the road, heavy underdogs against a better team, all you got to do is split on the road and then do your job at home. Toronto's already walking away with at least that, and now they get a goal. Tavares out of midair, one-hand eye by the captain. Toronto has scored and cut this lead to 2-1. A great blocker saved by Rask on Mikheyev, but it comes right midair to John Tavares, who knocks that one home by Tuukka Rask, and now it's a 1-goal hockey game. For John Tavares, it's his 5th of the postseason, with 7 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the second period. So now the Maple Leafs right back in this thing. Willie Nylander got it to Dermott. Dermott now over to Janssen, shot it high and wide. Here's the Maple Leafs now pressing for the equalizer. Here comes Charlie Coyle over the line. Coyle, he goes back to Ritchie. Ritchie, a shot. Stopped by Anderson. It's going to come now to Mikheyev. Mikheyev over the line for Toronto. Here's Tavares right in front. It's going to go. Taken away from him by Jake DeBrusk. As we will have a guest in the booth. Mitch Morrison will join us in the third period. You're going to have to wait just a couple of minutes, Mitch. But we'll get you in for the third. How's that sound? It's the best I can do at this juncture. Draw to the far side. It's going to be won and controlled by the Boston Bruins. Back to the line. Carlo rips one just wide. Here's Kasperi Kapanen. Kapanen comes over the line. Right into the middle, Mikheyev. Mikheyev got it to the net. Stopped by Rask. 2-6 Mitch caught it. What's the score? You can't see it. It's 2-1 Boston. 5:21 to go in the second period. Draw to the left of Rask, won by the Maple Leafs. Riley to Kapanen, now to Kerfoot. Kerfoot, he's knocked off the puck in deep there by Boston. I didn't see which Bruin that was, and the Bruins able to come out with it now. On the far side, Dave Pastrnak is shot. Stopped by Anderson, he'll hold on. Started at 1, Mitch. Started at 1, buddy. It was on the story. It's okay. We'll get you in there. The Leafs still have plenty of hockey to play. We'll get you in for the another chance. A one-timer. Oh, we're live. Okay. Looked like we had a problem, but apparently we don't. At least not now. All right. 2:45 to go here in the second period. Boston leads Toronto 2-1. Bruins win the draw and they carry out. 2:30 to go here in the period. Shot there from the near side. Nordstrom stopped by Anderson. He'll hold on to it. 2:24 now to go in the period. Third period. We'll invite 2-6 Mitch into the booth. Provide his insights for the third, I guess. It's okay. Draw won by the Maple Leafs. Here is Zach Hyman. Hyman got knocked off the puck. Bruins control. 2 minutes to play here in the second period. Put in deep. Gathered there by Justin Holl. Holl has it taken away from him, but he's got Marner in there to help him out. Austin Matthews. Matthews carries over the line. He's got it now. Back to the point, Holl. Now it's going to come over to Nick Ritchie. Ritchie carries out for the Bruins. Minute 27 to go in the period. Ritchie trying to step around Holl. Couldn't. Holl's got it for Toronto now. Matthews up. Comes to Andreas Janssen. Janssen, hard hit there. Tavares, another hit on the far side. And we'll have a penalty coming. It's going to go to the Boston Bruins. It'll go to Nick Ritchie for charging, it appears. Toronto to another power play. G-Pop Mitch Marner does not like the call. Chance to tie it up for the Leafs with 1:02 remaining here in the second period. They had 3 shots on their first power play, which was unsuccessful. Back to the line. Mikheyev a drive. Stopped there by Tuukka Rask. If you're just joining us, we were having technical difficulties earlier, but we seem to have weathered them. It's 2-1 for the Boston Bruins. 53 seconds to go in the second period. Toronto, however, fresh on a power play. As the Bruins win the draw and fire it immediately the length of the ice. As 2-6 Mitch, I see you inviting me into the party. We'll get you in the intermission here. Here's Andreas Janssen. Shot saved by Rask. He'll freeze that and hold on with 28.6 to play. Now we got some pushing and shoving. Top by the blue line. Nothing comes of that. We've only seen one fight in this postseason so far. It was Noah Hannafin and Brian Little, I want to say. Draw 1 in the Calgary-Winnipeg series. Another penalty's coming up, and I think it is going to go to the Boston Bruins. Indeed it is. To Brandon Carlo for hooking. 1:21, a 5-on-3 time for the Maple Leafs. you're just joining us, it's 2-1 Bees late in the second, but opportunity knocks and long two-man advantage for Toronto with 23 seconds to go in the second period. Can the Leafs even this game before the third starts? Chance at Kerfoot, side of the net, stopped by Rask. 15.2 seconds to play. We got a lot of people tuning in here. It's good. I love to see it. 2-1 Boston with 15 seconds to go in the second period. Toronto will carry over a 5-on-3 into the third, however. Here's Nylander, stopped by Rask. 8.6 to go as Toronto just trying some set face-off plays to get this game tied up before we head on over to the third. Eight and a half to play in the third period. Here's a drive from Matthews, tipped and scores! A 5-on-3 power play goal. The Maple Leafs have tied the game on a two-man advantage. And guess who? It's Alex Kerfoot. His fifth of the postseason. It's 2-2 late in the second. And Toronto will still have a little bit of 5-on-4 power play time when we get going in the third period. Whole new hockey game. The Toronto Maple Leafs have erased a 2-0 deficit. This rocket from Matthews tipped in front by Kerfoot, Alex Kerfoot. Came over in the Kadri deal with Colorado. And now we will just play the final ticks off the clock here in the second. Off to the second we will go. 2-2 after 40. We'll get Mitch Morrison in the booth here in just a second, as soon as the highlights packs roll. As the Toronto Maple Leafs came into the period down by 2, but they leave it tied up at 2. This is the tying goal, tipped home by Alex Kerfoot. 2-2 after 40 here in Boston. All right, let's get 2-6 Mitch in here. First, I do have to go to audio sharing settings and share party audio. And then I got to enter into the party with 2-6 Mitch. Oh, 2-6. There you are, buddy. Two six, are you there? Hey, pal.
Thanks for having me in the booth.
Hey, we got you in here. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go blind, so don't even worry about FaceTiming me.
All right, you just caught. Well, you got it on your laptop. You watching?
Yeah, I'm watching.
All right, well that'll
I
work.
tuned in.
You'll be on a bit of a delay, but that'll be all right. Let's just make sure we can.
And
hear
if
you.
you're just tuning in, that's our unofficial sponsor, White Claw.
All right, we can hear you. Okay, what do you think of that big time goal, Mitch Kerfoot? He stays hot.
These Boston Bruins are goons, man. No wonder they're in the box all the time. And you know, Alex, he just made them pay.
29-19, the shots favor Toronto. Welcome back inside the TD Garden here in Boston, Mass. Third period coming up, and it'll be a doozy. The conclusion of this one. Bergeron and Tavares on the draw to start out the third. And here we go. With it here, Mitch Marner over the line. Into the middle, Matthews, Toronto Stale with a minute 20 of power play time remaining. It's going to be coming loose. It's going to come to Bergeron. Bergeron will carry out as the Bruins now a short-handed rush. Matt Grishling in the middle, Chara at the line. Couldn't get the shot away. Now over to the far side, John Tavares. Tavares carries in for the Maple Leafs. Tavares back to the line. Matthews, a drive, shot blocked. It's going to come back to Matthews, though. Marner up front to Tavares. Couldn't pull the trigger. Back to the line, Barry. Barry shoots. Good stop by Tuukka Rask. There's Toronto down to 30 seconds of power play time, but Chara will send it the length of the ice. 2-2 in the third period, and the Maple Leafs with 15 seconds of power play time gain the line. Nylander to Tavares in the middle and cleared by the Boston Bruins. That'll do it for this Toronto power play, but they strike once on a 5-on-3 to tie the hockey game. And now this turns into an 18-minute mini game for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinal, of which this series the Maple Leafs lead 1-0. Here's Chara.
Hell yeah.
Over the line, Chara back to the point, gets knocked out, and back to retrieve this. Charlie McAvoy. McAvoy gets this up, comes to Kasha, now over to Ritchie. Ritchie in the middle. Ritchie tries to make a move around Barry. Can't. McAvoy now to Kasha. Back to the line, a drive blockered away by Frederick Anderson, who, despite allowing the first 2 goals of this one, has been solid ever since. Here's Kerfoot. Kerfoot sends it over to the far side, Marner. Marner to Ceci. Ceci now at the line. Comes Mikheyev into the middle, Marner. Ceci now with it on the far side point. Ceci out front, it comes, Kerfoot scores!
Hey, how are ya?
Second of the night. He's 6th of the postseason. And Kerfoot red hot in these playoffs, and the Maple Leafs lead it 3-2.
I mean, look at this. He just gets open, finds the back of the net. Perfect textbook hockey sim.
Textbook hockey, Mitch. That's all you got to do. You just find the open ice, and Alex Kerfoot, that's a hard one-timer to get away. He's moving backward, and he's not on his off wing, but he does a good job to get the puck to the net. 3-2 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they're on the attack again. A drive from Muzzin. Glove save made by Tuukka Rask. Talk about the resilience in this game, Mitch. Trailing by a couple early, where the Maple Leafs, they find themselves up 3-2. Chance to take 2 out of Boston.
Yeah, you know, and that probably just comes down to, I didn't watch the first couple periods, but it really seems like Freddie screwed that big old frickin' head of his on.
It really has. Here's Spezza. Tries to get it out front. Clifford. He can't find a man, and now the Bruins are searching for the equalizer. Here with it over the line is DeBrusque, taken away from him by Jake Muzzin. 15.5 to play here in this third period. Toronto 3, Boston 2. Charlie Coyle puts this one in deep. Gathered there by Cody Ceci. Ceci up to Kyle Clifford. Clifford to the near side, Gauthier. Gauthier for the Maple Leafs. Their little move around Carlo takes it away from him, though, and out come the Bruins. Anders Bjork. Bjork in the middle. Wagner, a backhander stopped by Anderson. Rebound cleared by the Maple Leafs. Here comes Clifford. Clifford over the line, near side. Clifford trying to center it out front. Sean Corrali. He lost it. And now here's Wagner. Wagner to Nordstrom. Back to Wagner. A chance. Good stop by Anderson. 14:04 to go in the third period. Mitch, the delay is not too... Is it too bad over there? You make it out all right?
No, Freddie just made the save, so we're not too far behind.
Oh, so that'll work. We'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Draw is coming up to the left of Anderson. It's won and controlled by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's Kasperi Kapanen. Over the line for Toronto. Kapanen back to the line. Now it comes right up front. Good chance for Mikheyev there. I think that was. Now Kerfoot side of the goal. Tries to find Mikheyev. Right up front again it comes. Kasperi Kapanen didn't get it. And here come the Boston Bruins. Far side, Nordstrom. A hard hit on him, and back come the Maple Leafs. Mikheyev through center. Drops off for Justin Holl. Holl, who had a goal in game 1. Out front. Oh, what a stop by Rask. And who was that but Alex Kerfoot. Nearly completing the hat trick, the natural hat trick here in game 2. For Tuukka Rask. He can be tough to beat at times too, Mitch.
Yeah, not for Alexander Kerfoot. That guy's getting the hat trick off the ice too. He picks up a lot of chicks.
Here come the Boston Bruins. Here is Bergeron out front, taken away by John Tavares. 12.5 to play here in this third period. Tavares now, near side, centering it out front, taken away by Charlie McAvoy, and here come the Bruins. Pasternak, 12 minutes to go. Out front, taken away, Andreas Janssen, and now here come the Maple Leafs on the attack back. Nylander takes a hard shot there from McAvoy, but still controls. Nylander in behind the Boston net. Willie Nylander right out front, Tavares. Nylander into the corner, Andreas Janssen. Rims around the boards, Justin Holl right in front, back to the line. Nylander a drive, saved by Rask. Loose puck cleared, and the Bruins are going to come out with it. Char to Brad Marchand. Marchand waiting. Marchand tries to center it in front, taken away by Matthews. Here come the Maple Leafs. Turned over though. This is Bergeron. Bergeron to Marchand. What a stop by Anderson. Brad Marchand, a one-timer, nearly tying the game for the Bruins. But the great save by Frederik Andersen. to keep this a 3-2 Toronto Maple Leaf lead. Up the far side it comes to Nick Ritchie. Ritchie shooting! Stopped by Anderson. He'll hold on. 10 minutes to play here. Third period. Toronto, what do they got to do for the next 10 minutes to ensure that this Boston team doesn't get rolling?
They've got the Bruins on their heels, man. They just got to keep their foot on that gas pedal and not let the puck in the net.
And I would say, too, a big thing, probably stay on these guys with the body. Don't let the big, bad Bruins get rolling physically.
No, you can't be getting bullied. We are the smaller team, but we've got a lot of fight in this dog.
Out comes Anderson, and he'll just play this right into the Maple Leaf bench. Fortunately for him, it's into the bench and not into the stands. So no penalty will come to him. Boston, the only team who's received a penalty tonight. No power plays for them to speak of yet. Toronto's received...
Sim, it looks like a young lady from Shawinigan got that puck.
Young lady from Shawinigan. Hey, shot quick to Torrey Krug. And the Boston Bruins nearly tie the game there, but here's Hyman, a chance. Stopped by Tuukka Rask. David Krejci's got it. Krejci now over to Jake Muzzin. Muzzin comes over center, turns it over, and now here come the Bruins. Anders Bjork steps around his man, right to the middle. Here's Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk shoots, save the rebound. Bjork couldn't get it away. Back to the line, more, a drive glove, saved by Anderson. Great stops by Freddie Anderson here off a couple of Bruin chances. Down to 8:17 to play here in the opening, in the final frame. How big would it be
favorite ginger
for the Maple Leafs to take a 2-0 series lead home to Toronto?
You got to give a big pat on the back to Freddie. That freaking ginger is on fire.
They usually are, aren't they? Here's DeBrusk in there. DeBrusk takes away for the Bruins. Boston searching for the equalizer. Backhander goes way wide and would have been an easy one for Anderson to stop anyhow, but here come the Maple Leafs. Clifford, 7.5 minutes to go in this final period. Here with it, Charlie Coyle, far side, Nordstrom, now to Coyle. Charlie Coyle in the corner, back to the line, Grishlik. Coyle and Grishlik trade. Moore to Coyle, now to Wagner, his shot, and there's a penalty there. It'll come, and finally the Boston crowd will say the Maple Leafs will get a penalty. It'll be a Boston Bruin power play. Tripping is the call, and I got to say a soft one, I think, on Tyson Barrie.
I absolutely agree.
And the Boston Bruins, a huge power play here. 6:57 to go, a chance to tie the game. Ritchie to Pasternak. Pasternak taken away from him by Freddie Gauthier. And I would venture a guess to say to this point, biggest penalty kill of the Maple Leafs playoff run so far. Here's Kasperi Kapanen. Kapanen over the line for Toronto. Into the middle, taken away, Pasternak. Pasternak, his cross-ice feed, stolen by Dermott, who puts it in deep. Down to 1:18 of power play time for the Boston Bruins. Pasternak, up to Charlie Coyle. Coyle over to the near side, Ritchie. Into the middle, now comes back to Coyle! He rang it off the post. Charlie Coyle nearly tying the game for the Bruins. Ritchie shoots, blocked by Gauthier, and Gauthier's going to carry out for the Maple Leafs. 45 seconds of power play time remaining for the Bruins. Out front to Justin Holl. Knocked off the puck. Pasternak. He turns it over at the line, and the Maple Leafs control. Down to 28 seconds of Bruin power play time. Torrey Krug up the far side. Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk for the Bruins. Into the middle, here's Bergeron. Bergeron, blocker save. DeBrusk right there. Bergeron down to Marchand. Stopped by Anderson. Marchand came off the bench, and no one really picked him up. And great chance there for him to tie the hockey game, but Anderson's been standing tall.
He's a sneaky little rat. He's just, you can't find him on the ice. He must be, what, like 5'2"?
Yeah, he's just a little guy, but he's put his share of pucks into the net. But the Maple Leafs, they do win the draw and send it down the ice. That'll do it on this Bruin power play. Bruins down to 4 minutes and 40 seconds of regulation time to get this thing tied. Here's Bergeron. Bergeron on the far side. Back to the middle. One-timer from Marchand, and it gets stopped by Anderson again. He'll hold on. And down the stretch will come in game 2 with the Maple Leafs leading by a single goal. Try to take 2 games out of their arch rivals building in Boston.
What was the first game?
6-2 Leafs.
2-6 for the Bruins, eh?
Big third, though. It was 2-2 going to third, I want to say. One-timer is Tavares. Good stop there on Tavares by Tuukka Rask. 4 minutes to go here. And the Maple Leafs, you've been on a bit of a delay there, Mitch, but what are you liking from the Leafs in this third period?
I'm not hating anything, Sam. Everything they've done is perfection. They're the best hockey team I've seen on this ice so far.
Well, there you go. Not biased opinion at all, eh? Here comes Chris Wagner over the line. Wagner stopping up. Taken away from him, though, and the Maple Leafs D is really clamped down on the Bruins. Not something we're used to saying about the Toronto Maple Leafs, but they've done a fantastic job here in the final 2 periods of this one. Boston only found Twine twice back in the first. But here's the big man, Zdeno Chara. Over the line, Chara. Chara in the corner. Back to the line, Joakim Nordstrom. Nordstrom, now to McAvoy. Corrali right up front, shot blocked by Tyson Barrie. And now with 2:40 to play, we come down the stretch. Boston still desperate for the equalizer. As here come the Bruins through center ice. Every team who's dropped the first 2 games at home in these playoffs so far has gone down to defeat in a series. First, it was the St. Louis Blues going down to the Preds. The Oilers go down to the Flames. Drive from the point. Tipton scores! It's John Tavares!
Hey!
4-2, the Maple Leafs lead with under 2 to play.
How are ya?
And now, it's a 2-goal mountain to climb for the Boston Bruins. 4 unanswered for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's like Mount Everest, honestly. They'll never get up that hill.
A shot from Tyson Barrie, tipped by Tuukka Rask. And the Boston Bruins, who...
Tuukka Rask tipped it?
No, sorry, excuse me, tipped by Tavares by Tuukka Rask.
Oh,
I thought I said, or I meant to say. As the Boston Bruins now with the 2-goal deficit, under 2 to play. Here's a chance for Bergeron. His shot stopped by Anderson. 90 seconds left here in the period. Tavares over the line. It's going to come up the boards. It's Bergeron. Bergeron dropped off. Up the far side, Dave Pasternak. To the bench goes Tuukka Rask. 6-on-5 for Boston. Up and oh, what a stop by Anderson! Freddie Anderson across with the glove. Makes a save on John Moore. What a big goal.
Going in the highlight reel.
What a big goal that would have been for the Bruins to cut the lead to 1, but it stays a 2-goal deficit. And now 56 seconds to play in the period. Chance to get out for the Maple Leafs. And a chance at an open net. Here's Marner to the empty net. He scores. And Mitch Marner will seal the deal for the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 2. Who will come
their throats
into Boston and take 2 games out of the TD Garden in Massachusetts. And they'll take a 2-0 series lead back home on Tuesday night.
Absolutely just ripped the hearts out of every one of the Boston Bruins fans in attendance tonight.
Yeah, it's awfully quiet in here now, and Boston, who led this game 2-0, maybe let off the gas a little bit, but certainly Freddie Anderson played well for the final 40 minutes of this one, probably 50 minutes of this one, I should say. And how big is it that Toronto's going to be taking a 2-0 lead back home here, Mitch?
It's not that big. They usually find a way to screw up series against the Boston Bruins, so we're not going to count our chickens.
Fair enough. Here's Nick Ritchie over the line. Now into the middle, Krejci, as we're well into garbage time now. The Maple Leafs, they're going to win Game 2, and they're going to be up 2-0 on these Boston Bruins. As with it here on the far side is Andre Kasha. Kasha in the middle, taken away by Austin Matthews. Matthews to Hyman. 13 seconds to play. Hyman now knocked off the puck by David Krejci. And a penalty in garbage time here. It's not going to matter. It'll go to the Maple Leafs. Seems like an unnecessary call.
Absolutely. Let's get this game over with. The boys want to go drink.
Let's go home. Let's go home indeed. And the Toronto Maple Leafs will go home with a 2-0 lead on their arch nemesis, the Boston Bruins. But as you said, Mitch, that hasn't meant much in the past. But Toronto has never led the Bruins 2-0 in the last number of years it's happened. As this game comes to a close now, and now it's official. The Maple Leafs, 5-2 winners over the Boston Bruins here this afternoon, and they lead the best of 7, 2 games to nothing. So what do you think of that, Mitch? The Leafs won Game 1 last year against the Bruins, and obviously lost in 7. They've never led by more than one game. So is that maybe a little bit of a psychological advantage for the Leafs, do you think?
Sim, I'll tell you the frickin' problem, and we got rid of it. It was Nazem Kadri. That guy, first game, we win. He gets suspended. He's got suspended every playoffs. Now we finally got rid of him. We got Tyson Barrie in replacement for him. Like I always say, it's not over till you lose at home, but this one's looking pretty good for the Leafs. Absolutely,
it's looking pretty good for the Leafs. And mentioned earlier that at least what you want to do is split on the road. Well, the Maple Leafs have come into Boston and taken 2 and outshot the Boston Bruins in Game 2 as well, 42-33. Here are your 3 stars. John Tavares, your first star tonight, 2 goals for him. Frederick Anderson with 31 saves. He's your second star. Cody Ceci, 3 assists. How about that? So no star for Alex Kerfoot. A little bit surprising, Mitch, do you think?
He's got his time. He's more of an off-ice player.
Kerfoot had himself 2 goals. But I guess, yeah, you know what, Cody Ceci, 3 assists. One of them on the empty netter at the end there. But that'll do it for us in this one. We're going to go live here in a couple minutes. What time is it? It is, we'll say 2:05. We'll go live for the second game. Yeah, well, let's say 2:10. 2:10 then. I don't want to be too quick for you, Mitch. 2:10, we'll head over to Pittsburgh for the Carolina Hurricanes and Pittsburgh Penguins Game 2 of that series. Thanks for popping in here for a period, Mitch. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me in the booth, Sam. Like I said, it's always a pleasure, and I'll be signing off now.
All right. Well, thanks, Mitch, and thanks for tuning in to Game 1. We'll see you in a couple minutes for Game 2.